Well, okay. To be in the interview, would you please state your name for the people?
My name is Loretta Harris.
What is your birthday?
9 September 1958.
Wait, 9 September? Okay.
Well,
You said that so...
I probably have to say it over. Okay, September the 10th, 1958. Okay, you're going to have to edit.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in your life, you were in the military. Is that correct?
That's correct. I enlisted for the military in 1988, and I was in the Army Reserve. The Army wasn't my first choice. After I got out of high school, I had wanted to go to the Navy. And they told me that I had to pick up some more weight. So the only reason why I wanted to go to the Navy because they had great female uniforms. And so after a couple of years, I didn't enlist into the Army until 1988. At that time, I went Army Reserve, and I was also attending the LPN program, which was a 15-month program at that time, and I was the last class that was 15 months. And I passed the NCLEX exam, and I worked at University Hospital in a pediatric emergency room. Before that, I was a nursing assistant at Charity Hospital, and I worked there for about 12 years. And I worked at University Hospital for 29 years, and then I retired so I could come to school full time and become an RN, which I did in 2014 of this year, and I earned my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. I'm planning on taking my my NCLEX exam in December. So yeah, wish me luck. Pray for me, actually.
Okay. While you were serving, I'm sorry. While you served in the Army, what wars did you encounter?
I encountered two. There was the Desert Storm, which was one that we volunteered for. If you wanted to go, you was able to go, but if not, you could stay home. But the war with Iraqi freedom in 2002, that was the one that our whole unit had to go, and you had no choice in that one. In the war with Iraqi freedom, I served as a medical supply sergeant, and I was with the TSC, which is Theater Support Command. Before that, it was located on Leroy Johnson, right after you go over the Seabrook Bridge, or right after you go up the Seabrook Bridge. That was the Reserve Center, and it was called 377 Take Home, but now we're located in Belle Chase, and we're the Theater Support Command, and we're with Joint Forces. We're with the Marines, the Navy, the Air Force, and the Army. Yes.
Lovely. What was your rank?
My rank, I retired as a master sergeant, which is one of the highest ranks. It's right below a command sergeant major. My next rank was to be a command sergeant major, but my knees had started giving me trouble, and my run time was going down, so I had decided to retire from the military at that time, since my knees started giving me trouble with my run. So I retired from the military with 21 years as a master sergeant.
Where did you serve?
I served in Kuwait in the 2002 campaign with Iraqi freedom, and also I didn't serve in the Desert Storm. No, I didn't serve in the Desert Storm, but I did do the Iraqi freedom because our whole unit had to do that one. But we went to Egypt 2 times. We went to California. What else? California and Texas and Mexico.
Were you drafted or did you enlist?
I enlisted, and I enjoyed serving my time in the service. Like I said, I was interested in the military when I was 18 years old. I had wanted to join then, but I had joined later on. And I enjoyed every minute of serving in the military. They make you more disciplined. They put you in leadership position. They groom you, and at one time I thought my drill sergeant was picking on me, because every time he saw me, he told me to get a piece of real estate, which meant give him some push-up wherever we were, and I would have to do push-up until he said stop. One time he told me to do push-ups, and I did about one, and he told me to get up. And so, to come to find out, he wasn't picking on me. He was just trying to make me a little stronger. And they also want you to be disciplined and be able to take orders. So, if you're not that type of person, I don't think you should enlist into the service. But if you can take orders and you're disciplined enough, I think it'll be a great idea. I love it. If I was able to rejoin the Army or re-enlist into the Army as a nurse, I would do it. Yes, I would.
Is that why you joined? Because of the discipline and the...
Yes, because of the discipline and the leadership skills that I had acquired by being no, I went into the service as a PFC, which is private first class, because I had some college courses behind me, and that moved me up to a private first class, which is a PFC, and I also was in the ROTC and SUNO, which I enjoyed that too. And I went for the leadership skills and the ability to lead a group of people. And then, the travel too.
That's wonderful. Do you recall your first days in the service?
Yes. I went to the recruiting office that was on Gentilly. At that time, they had an office in Gentilly. I think it was Louisa and Gentili office right there, and I went there, took the test, I passed it, and I had to go to the MAP center about 2 days after that, got weighed in, made the weight, then they drew blood, and we had a regular physical, and at that time, by the time they got finished with all of that, we was ready to take the plane and go to, I went to South Carolina, and I did my basic training there, and I was, I'm trying to remember the name. I wasn't a first squad leader, but I was the, you could say the platoon leader. I was the platoon leader, yes. And from there, I had finished basic training, which I thought basic training wasn't going to never end, but it did. But I enjoyed my drill sergeants because they set a good example for us. And so I was placed or assigned to the 377 take-home on Leroy Johnson.
Okay, so please tell. I'm sorry. Please tell me Tell me about a couple of your most memorable experiences.
Let me see. My most memorable experience, I think, is when I received 2 accommodation awards for working out in the field and working in Kuwait as a medical sergeant. I received an award for that, and getting the front line their medical supplies that they needed. And I also received an accommodation award when we was in Texas for as a supply sergeant then, and making sure that all the department had every supply that they had needed. Yes. And my most favorite moment was when I retired, and I told the rest of the soldiers that it was something to the fact that be all that you can be, and to put God first. Yes.
Okay. So please, like, one more time for the record. What is your name?
Loretta.
Oh, wait. 2, 1. Okay. One more time.
Loretta Harris.
Okay. And my name is Tia Harris. I am the interviewer. That way I can edit this right later. What is your date of birth?
9/10/1958.
And you currently stay in the East?
Yes, I do. I own my own house. I also own 2 other properties, which is a duplex. And right now I'm retired from University Hospital, but I'll probably come out of retirement after I take my NCLEX test in December.
Wonderful. And here joining us as a witness to this interview is Jamia Collins. Say hello.
Hello.
Wonderful. Alright, please state your relationship to me.
I am Tia's aunt.
Yay.
Her eldest aunt.
On my mother's side?
Yes, on her mother's side.
Okay. And so you're a Dillard alum?
Oh, yes, I am. I graduated Dillard May the 10th, 2014, from the nursing program. I earned my BSN, and I do tell you I earned it. Yes.
Okay, so please tell us a little bit about your nursing career.
Oh, my nursing career started in 1996. That's when I became an LPN, and I was working at University Hospital at that time in a pediatric emergency room. And being in a pediatric emergency room, they tried to move the patients out at a fast pace. I worked in the urgent care. I also worked in the back of the emergency room. I drew medicines. I gave shots. I did assessments. I assisted the doctors. I assigned patient if there was urgent, non-urgent, and urgent, non-urgent, and emergency. Yes, when I was at the triage desk. That's how we assigned the patients.
Lovely. Okay, so you were a nurse. You served in the military. Please tell us a little bit about your family life.
Oh, I come from a large family. I am the oldest girl from 9. I have 8 siblings, and I have one brother that's older than me. He passed away in 2011. We were living together. He died of a stroke in his sleep. We are a tight-knit family. And at that time, after I had graduated in 1977, I had graduated in 1977, and my mom had passed away in 1979. So that's when I had to take on the responsibility of raising my brothers and sisters, and mostly looking out for my baby brother and my baby sister, because I used to work at night as a nursing assistant. And the only problem I found with raising my younger brother and sister was getting a babysitter. Because when it was time for me to leave, it seemed as though everyone disappeared. So I would always have to find a babysitter for my younger brother and sister. But it was challenging, but I gave it all to the Lord, and He got me, and He showed me the way, and I always put Him first in my life, because sometimes He carried me. I not only brought my problems to Him, but He carried me. Yes.
Okay. So you said that you had to take care of your siblings.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yes, because my mom had passed away. It was a tragic accident. I'm not going to speak too much about it, but she passed away in 1979.
How old were you?
I was 20 years old. And my little brother was 5, and my little sister was 7.
Okay. What was your father?
My father was still alive, and he was with us, and he was still working, so we still had support. But we just had to organize ourselves, and we would have family meetings and stuff like that. And who was gonna go pay the rent, who was gonna go make the groceries and stuff like that. So you have to figure out a schedule.
Mm-hmm. So after your parents passed away, how did you handle that?
Once both of my father died, I think it was in 2008, 2009, something like that, of cancer of the throat. And I read in the Bible that if your parents have died, you're not an orphan, because God is there to be your mother and your father. And I truly believe that. And I always put God first in my life.
Okay. So, out of your siblings, who would you say took this tragedy the most to heart?
It would be my younger brother, Sean, because he was 5 at the time. When my mother had passed, he kind of like didn't understand it, because he said, Loretta, you know, Mom is dead. And I knew that he didn't know. And so when we all saw the psychiatry at that time, he would act out his feelings and what he saw and what had happened to my mom. So it was my younger brother, Sean.
Okay.
Yes, because he was 5 at the time, and he was still a baby.
Okay. If this video, not really at the beginning, we're gonna cut some stuff out. If this video was to be shown at your funeral, what would you like to say? What would you like to reflect back and say to your siblings?
Keep the family together, pray together, and always put God first, because He's there for you. He's your father, He's your mother, your lawyer, your doctor. Put Him first, and He'll see you through, and you will stay on the narrow path. So you'll stay on the straight and narrow path, and that's where God wants you to be.
Okay, so at your funeral, would you want Auntie Lynn to climb on your casket?
Who that? Oh no. No. Okay, yeah, that was an incident that happened when my brother passed away. My brother Henry, that was the oldest child, and when my sister Felicia came to the house, she really couldn't take it, and she was like on top of his body and stuff like that, so she took it really hard. And I kind of like want a military, well, I will get a military ceremony if they don't cut it, with full honor, since I retired. And so everything would be dress, and everybody would have on the same clothing, and it'll be more respectful.
Wonderful. I'll make sure it happens.
Oh, thank you,
Unless
Tina.
mine come first, 'cause it don't.
Yeah.
No kidding. Guy got me. So, what would you say was your favorite childhood memory?
My favorite childhood memory would be when me and my mom went to Woodward, and I had wanted, my mom had told us to pick one toy. I had wanted 2 toys because I saw the price of it. It was like $1 each. And I said, oh, my mom can afford this. And so it was the hula hoop and the jump rope. But my mama told me, no, I only could pick one. And so I started crying and stuff like that, but that didn't faze her. And so I chose the hula hoop. But I had thought that because there were 9 of us, that's probably why I didn't get the second toy. But to come to find out, and my mom had started laughing, she said she didn't know why she didn't give me the second toy because she was able to afford it. But so we laughed that off, and there was another time we used to go to Woodward a lot, and I used to enjoy eating in the booths over there at Woodward's that was on North Rampart, right on the corner. And one time we did like a little commercial in Woodward. We was fooling with the makeup, and I said, Mom, how do you think I look in this makeup? And then she said, how do you think I look in this makeup? And it was sort of funny because at that time CoverGirl had a commercial with their makeup and stuff like that. So it was kind of like a copy of them. Mm-hmm. And then also I remember during Christmas time, my grandfather, which is my parent, which means that was my godfather, he taught me how to ride my 2-wheel bike. What he did was sit on the back of it, and I pedaled, and so with his weight gave me the balance that I needed to keep the bike up, and that's how I learned how to ride my bike. Thank you, grandfather.
Okay, so seeing as how there were 9 of you, what games did you play as a child?
Oh, there was quite a few games we played. We played hopscotch, jump rope, tea time, because we had tea sets. We also played grocery store because me and my sister, we shared a Coca-Cola machine that you put the little small bottle of Coke in the machine, and then you could dispense it. Put a cup of it in and dispense it, and sell that. But that was great too. That was a lot of fun. And my father had bought us a big wooden table and some nice solid wooden chairs for us to play with. And my father also bought my brothers some boxing gloves at that time. And they were boxing and stuff like that, so I had wanted to box. So my dad put the gloves on me and stuff like that, and it was me and my brother Henry, that's the older one, the oldest one. He hit me, and so I think he hit me kind of hard, so I had stopped boxing, but I didn't give up. I recuperated, and then I asked my daddy to let me go again. And that's when I got the best of Henry, and then I quit.
That's wonderful.
Oh, and then there's also something else, and I have felt bad during this, but we used to play pity pat. And my brother, at that time I had came in and the game had already started and stuff like that, so I had to wait my turn, and I was looking at my brother Wayne's hand and to see what he had, and I had called out his card, and he lost the game. And after that, I had felt kind of bad because I had called out his hand. But with Wayne, it was always something, because when he was a baby, I had taken his bottle for myself, and I probably was about 5, 6, something like that, and running with the bottle, I fell down and cut myself with the glass bottle in one of my hands, in my left hand. And my mom had took some Epsom salt and she used to soak it every night. But come to find out, my grandmother, Lula, that was her name, she was a midwife, and so that's how come we had the medical books. And my mom knew what to do with my hand, and you know, come today, you can't tell which hand had the scar in it, which hand had the scar, which hand that I had cut. It was just that good.
Is that what inspired you to be a nurse?
Yes. That did.
That's wonderful. So what kind of home entertainment was there? Was there like storytelling, music, crafts maybe?
We used to do a lot of coloring, and we used to also, I used to always practice for plays, because I was in a lot of plays at school. And my dad was one of the parents that was always there, always helping the school out, and I was one of the children that was always in something. So I enjoyed my elementary days. Yes. And my mom had made my costumes and stuff like that. One time I was an angel. Another time I was one of the hands for a Muppeteer storyline, and I did a lot over there at Marie C. Couvon. That was on, I can't remember the name of the street, but it was in the 7th Ward.
So, did y'all do anything special for the holidays?
For the holidays, we either stayed home or went to one of our relatives' house. And when we stayed home, we cooked our meals. And my favorite thing I used to do was, because I didn't start working in the kitchen until I was about 10, and I used to chop up all the seasoning, like the onion, the green onions, the garlic. I was good at that, so I used to always get that job to help out in the kitchen, especially around Christmas time.
Oh, that's so sweet. Were there any family heirlooms or keepsakes or like mementos that you possess?
We used to have my mother's wedding ring, but my aunt had wanted it when she got married, so we gave it to her for her wedding ring. And so we don't have it, but my aunt still have it. We do have some pictures when my mother and father was younger, and when we were younger too. We have some pictures. Yeah, so that's about it.
Well, speaking of pictures, did you You brought something with you?
Oh, yes, I surely did. Okay. I don't know if he has saw this picture before, but this was our family picture, and
She must
this
do
is
my mama there.
Tia's mother right here.
Mama looks a little chapped, but you know, it's cool. She hates that. Look, the point of my mama.
Yes, this is Tia's mother right here. And this
Trina.
is my little brother, Trina. And this is my little brother, Sean. Where I'm at. Yes, this is my little brother, Sean. He was 5 years old at the time. And this is my little niece, Katina. That's myself. That's my sister, Felicia, my sister, Arlene, and my sister, Zena. And and Wayne. That's my brother, Wayne. We always was getting into something. And the photographer made a joke because I told him that there were 2 of us missing, and he said, "Ooh, I don't know where they would have fit in if they would have came because there were 9 of us." Yeah, so this is our family picture. And we were supposed to take another one, but waited too late, and my oldest brother had passed away. And I also have a picture when I was in the Army. I was a staff sergeant. At that time, I was still at the 377 Take Home on Leroy Johnson Street. I was the E6. And I was working in the, the Inspector General office. That's where I was working at. Yes. I also have.
Oh yeah. Getting all the goods, y'all. All of them.
Okay, I know y'all may recognize this fella here.
Yeah.
This is
Do you proud?
Yes, this is President Kimbrough at my graduation. Okay, and then I have one more.
Full blue. All day.
And this is myself. At my graduation.
Yeah. Keep the legacy going, y'all.
And Dillard is a fantastic school, and I'm quite sure you all will make it to 2018. I'm going to say congratulations already because I know y'all going to make it.
Okay, so show us family picture. Let's do that again, the whole family. Alright, you want to snap right quick? Okay, so, I don't know what I'm turning. Shoot. Okay, so, what you don't know is, I'm a stunner. And the next time we all together, the whole family, we're going to show this part right here. Alright, so, we're going to start with Uncle Henry. What is one memory that you have of him that will always be your favorite?
Let me see. Uncle Henry. Let's see. My favorite time. Oh! Oh my goodness, this was so funny. With Uncle Henry, my brother Henry, I also had my little nephew staying there with us. His name was Philip. And he would come down the hallway trying to make us laugh during a little dance. And so I had copied, so after he had moved back by his mom, I used to copy the little dance and look at Hendra and we'll bust out laughing because it was so funny. You had to be there, really. It was so funny. And then my brother Hendra was also responsible for a little girl getting adopted. They used to call him Uncle Hero. She was coming from school, and at the time Hendra was sitting on the step, and one man pulled up a car behind, alongside of her, and Hendra stopped that adoption. Yes. But Hendra used to call me Mama, Grandma, or Lucy, something like that.
Okay. So, Uncle Wayne.
Uncle Wayne is the one that I stole the bottle from when he was a baby, and I cut my hand.
Okay. Auntie Zena.
Auntie Zena. I remember Auntie Zena as being one of the first persons having an afro, because what she used to do would she would twist her hair, and she would twist it so much that the whole twist would come out and her hair started getting short. So I think she was one of the ones that brought the afro out.
Okay. Auntie Valencia.
Auntie Valencia. Auntie Valencia, they called her, well, my dad called her the pretty girl. Yeah, Auntie Valencia, he called her the pretty girl. And I remember her for that. And I think Zena had a pet name for Valencia too. I can't quite remember what it was. And
what's your favorite memory of her?
Oh, my favorite memory of Felicia is that I think she was trying to follow in my footsteps. Being on top of things, getting things together and stuff like that. I think she picked up on some of my traits. Yes.
Oh yeah, Auntie Lynn. I see, girl. Okay, Auntie Eileen.
Auntie Eileen, she was the funny one. She used to like to curse a lot, which the rest of us didn't. But she had picked that up from my dad when he would be outside being with some other gentlemen, and that's where she picked that up from. But she was real funny, really, yes.
Uncle Wayne.
Uncle Wayne, me and Uncle Wayne, we kind of like read each other's mind and was able to support each other. Like if he was down and I picked up on it, and we would talk about it, and then I was able to help him to solve some of his problems that he was going through, and I also was able to guide him in the right way that he should go, because my brother Wayne had also joined.
Yeah. Oh, my BM I was trying. I thought I am and everything.
My brother Wayne also joined the military. He went to the Navy, and he went active as to where I was reservist.
Okay, now Uncle Sean. I'm sorry, I messed that up.
Uncle Sean is yeah, that's Uncle Sean. Uncle Sean had a little trouble adjusting after my mom had passed, but me and Sean had a good rapport with each other, because every time I came at night, he used to stay up and wait for me when I got off from work at night and tell me what happened and stuff like that. One incident, one of my sisters had fixed some red gravy, and he was telling me he didn't eat it because earlier that day he had saw a dead frog with all the red blood, and he didn't want to eat. So he waited until I came home to tell me that, and so me and Sean had ate together that night. So yeah, that's what I remember about Sean, who's a minister now. Sean is a minister now. And he's a very good minister.
Yes, I've heard good things.
Yes.
Okay, and now, of course, my mom,
Okay. Trina. Trina. This is what I remember about Trina. One day, it was me and Trina walking together. It was raining, and we had an umbrella, and she had her glasses on, and I stopped to let a car pass, but she didn't stop, so I had to pull her back. I said, "What's wrong? You didn't see that car?" And so at that time, my mom was living, and I was telling my mom what happened, and then my mom was saying that's why she don't like the children to have umbrellas, because they pull it over their face. So she preferred for them to wear raincoats. Yes.
That's why I had to wear raincoats when I was little.
Oh, probably so. Yeah, because she wasn't able to use an umbrella no more, just raincoats, rain gear.
Okay. Oh, let's do cousin Katina. Come on,
Katina is my little niece. She really surprised me. Katina graduated from Abramson, and to see how fat and chubby she is now, well, she grew up so tall. She's about 6 feet, and she's slim. She's real slim. I didn't think she would be so tall and slim. You know, looking at her now in the picture as to where she's kind of fat and healthy, you know, and got a little weight on her. But she's slim, and she was a smart girl. Well, she is a smart girl.
Okay, well, next few people aren't on here. Loretta. Gotta do Loretta. Gotta get the oldest out there. Throw that out. Loretta?
My mom?
Oh, I said, no, cousin, VDV.
Oh, VDV. VDV was named after my mom. VDV, her name is Loretta. That's my mom's name, and my mom's nickname was V. And Vita Vita is my sister Arlene's child. Arlene is, that's Arlene. And she named her first girl after my mama. And we call her Vita Vita. And then there's Zena. We forgot to talk about Zena.
We talked about Zena.
What did we say about Zena?
You was talking about how she was first on with Afro.
Oh yes, that's right. Okay, I forgot about that. Okay, yes. She brought out the afro.
That was our oldest. LaShawn.
Oh, LaShawn was a pretty girl. Well, she's pretty now.
I'm about to tell you my name.
She was a pretty girl coming up, and she acted like if she had been here before. She started walking, I think, before she was 9 months. And now she's a cake maker, and she's a cake decorator, and she have a company called Lilla Cakes. Look, and her cakes are really good, and she make custom cakes. Whatever kind of cake you present to her, or you draw it, she can do it. So don't forget, that's Lilla Cakes.
Free advertisement.
Yes.
Okay. Uncle Wayne's eldest son.
That's my brother Wayne. He have a son named Wayne Jr. Let me see. The last time I saw him, when my brother Wayne masked as an Indian. My brother masked as an Indian for a couple of years. He was in the Young Navajo tribe, and that's when I saw Wayne, oldest boy. I hadn't seen him in a good while, and then I saw him at my dad's repast and stuff like that, in the funeral. And then Wayne also have another son called William, and they both fine boys. They grew up to be fine boys.
Does Uncle Henry have kids?
Uncle Henry have one son, and which his name is Henry Jr. But he doesn't stay down here in Louisiana, and his mom will bring him around the family sometime. But we haven't seen him lately. It's been a couple of years since we last seen him, so I don't know how he looks now. Or what he's doing.
Okay. And Auntie Belinda's eldest, Unique?
Oh, Unique is another beautiful girl. Unique is at UNO, and she was a cheerleader, and she was a cheerleader, and she also a designer. She was a designer. She makes clothes and stuff like that. She did a couple of shows for people, and they gave her some feedback as asking her to come back to their show and stuff like that, and show some more of her clothing.
And Uncle Sean's eldest, Little Sean?
Uncle Sean, son name is Sean Jr. And Sean, I prayed for Sean when he was in utero, because at that time they say something was wrong with him in utero, and so I prayed very hard that he came out normal, and that he be a good child and be able to be self-sufficient. And I think he knew I prayed for him while he was in utero, because when he came out, he recognized me like if he saw me before. And he would say, "Auntie Loretta, how you doing?" and stuff like that. So it was kind of like a magical bind there, as to where he know I prayed for him while he was in utero. He do have a little paralysis in his right arm, but he can function and get around. Yes, so he's going to be a productive citizen. Yes. And their father, teach them the Bible and stuff like that, because there's Aiden too. So Sean have two sons.
Hey, don't let little kids feel special. We only doing the eldest round here.
Oh.
No offense, age or size.
Oh yeah, no offense.
Okay. Now, Trina's eldest, Tia.
Oh, okay, Tia.
Elder's life.
Tia is more outgoing, and she likes to get into a lot of stuff. She came to my alma mater, Dillard University, and she's majoring in psych.
Psych is life.
And I also heard that she's gonna run. She wanna be
President of the world.
wait, I think she wanna run for the queen.
Are you talking about for like homecoming stuff?
The homecoming queen.
You know, I
She
did.
wants to be
I did. I lost.
Oh,
School.
okay.
I don't care. Gotta cut that out now.
Alright, but she's in quite a few social groups around here in Dillard. Yeah.
Get involved. But, okay. So, after re-examining our family and how amazing we've all become, would you say that family means a lot to you?
Yes. Family does mean a lot to you because you always need someone. You can't make it in this world alone. And then you always have to put God first, and He will never steer you wrong. So always praise Him. And family, do try to tithe. Yes, because I did a lot of tithing. So do tithe, family, or start tithing, because I had tried to get my nieces and nephews to start tithing. I told them however much they get or however much money they earn, put 10% away for the Lord. So when you go to the church, you can put that in a tithe envelope and to show the Lord that you're tithe. But always put the Lord first.
What would you say is the most valuable skills or characteristics to have?
I would say just being a child of God. You can't go wrong with that. Just seek His face. Yes, that's that. And He'll give you the characteristics that you need and people should see. And when they look at you, they're going to know that you're a child of God. Because that's going to shine through.
Okay, that was beautiful.
Thanks.
Is there any last words you'd like to share with us?
While y'all in college, don't lose hope. Stick in there and put God first, and He'll bring you out. Yes. And just like they say, He says in the Bible, it says, bring the 10% to my house, and I'll pull you out a blessing. And He will. I have 3 houses.
I don't know.
And I prayed. And God gave me the houses. The other 2 houses was unexpected, but I have them. So He blessed me with that.
Something you can do. Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming. Talk to us.
You're welcome. Okay, bye-bye.